Hello indie game fans! So the Steam sale ends on the coming Tuesday, 9th of July, so get your purchases in before that. Muhammad Asad Ahmad asked for at least one more sales video on indie games under $10, so here are 10 more indie games under $10 for the Steam Summer Sale 2019. And I think that I got a couple of cool picks that you guys might not have heard of. Seasons After Fall is a gorgeous platformer where you play as an adorable fox that can control the seasons at will. The season-changing aspect isn't the newest thing in games, but I love the hand-painted art of this, such a beautiful piece of work. The time-traveling insanity of Super Time Force Ultra kinda comes with the theme as you take control of 19 different characters and manipulate time itself. Great pixel art and fun, fast run-and-gun action, so the time warping mechanic makes it rather cleverly designed. Immortal Redneck is one of the more prominent examples of the roguelite first-person shooter, so procedure generation, permadeath and progression, but with a distinctly supernatural Egyptian theme, and of course, the action-packed shooting that we come to expect from the genre. Nine playable characters, 50 weapons, 35 enemies, a full skill tree and more will keep you coming back. The Way was another title I considered for my video on high-bit indie games, and it is an old-school inspired adventure platformer similar to Another World or Flashback. This has an entire alien planet filled with secrets to discover, as well as a central sci-fi theme and narrative around the question of existence. From a deep and profound game to an all-out action one, Let Them Come is a wave defense shoot 'em up with ding 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 impressive pixel art yet again. While small in scope and price, this really does punch above its weight in terms of look and alien design, and the action is great as well. SpiritSphere DX is a Pong or Windjammers-like game, which is best in local multiplayer of course. I love the sheer variety of characters, each feeling different to control, and there are unique game modes such as Squash Mode, which varies up the experience. I loved it when it was in early access, and it has only gotten better with subsequent updates, most notably partnering with the developer of Slime Sun for the Switch release. Pitfall Planet is a co-op puzzle adventure game that looks just awesome with a friend. I love co-op gaming experiences since it is a shared experience with another person, which just creates great memories, more so if the game is awesome. Pocket Kingdom is a very underrated adventure puzzle platformer set in a beautifully detailed world where you play as a photographer with the task of capturing the photo of one of the old gods, rumored to live in islands that mysteriously appear in the sky. On top of the pixel art, this has rich writing and lore, as well as some tricky puzzles, really giving you that joy of exploration.
Ever since man first knocked man through a plate glass window, we have looked up at the stars and wondered, what if we could do that, but in space? Well, then that man would be in space, and someone would have to make all that space. And that's why Heat Signature took 3.5 years. You play a contractor, living in a remote nebula, taking on missions to break into spaceships. Breaking into spaceships is a ridiculous job that will certainly get you killed. But luckily there are easy missions you can choose. Well, that one's labelled mistake, so you might not want to. Okay, fine, we're doing the one literally labelled mistake.
Heat Signature is a roguelite top-down shooter where you have to break into spaceships and accomplish your mission, such as stealing something or assassinating the captain.
Once you're in, you'll need to get past the crew. You're wildly outnumbered, but you can pause and take as long as you like to figure out how to get out of the terrible situation you've just put yourself in. So here, you can take that first guy's gun and use it to shoot his friend. And then throw your wrench at this guy and dodge that bullet while your gun reloads. And everyone on the ship heard that. Soon you're finding gadgets like the Subverter, which lets you hack enemy turrets to shoot people for you, and the Swapper, which lets you swap places with enemies to make them shoot themselves.
As the video shows, this is from the developer of the excellent Gunpoint, and thus far they are 3 for 3, with Mothblade bringing up the rear. Great game for a great price.
Now that your target is happily asphyxiating, you have time to worry about bigger problems, like the fact that the ship you're on is under attack and exploding. So it's time to throw yourself through a window and remote control your pod to come and scoop yourself up before you asphyxiate. Every mission gets you closer to liberating a new space station, and liberating stations unlocks new gadgets, weapons, and technologies to play with. And that is Heat Signature. It's a game from the developers of Gunpoint, where you go inside spaceships, make terrible mistakes, and think of clever ways out of them. It's out now on Steam.
Nadia Was Here is another indie RPG that I like to point people towards since it looks unique, has one of the more fascinating combat systems, and if you have not noticed, only uses a color palette of 14 colors. Being fascinated by pixel art, I love it when developers constrain their pieces of art or even games to a limited choice, giving it a very striking look. The combat system involves abilities that fire off on cooldowns, but there are different lanes which your character can switch between. The time loop story is also intriguing and well worth diving into. For more of the best indie games, do check out the previous video or click on the recommended playlist, and I will see you after the jump.